Dear learners, I am Dr. Meenu Bhatnagar from the Center of Russian Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. I welcome you all to this course on Basics of Russian Communication Skills. In this module, you will be introduced to the perfective aspect of the verb. In the last module, you had learnt about the aspects of verb, which is vidi glagola, and you had also learnt how to use the imperfective aspect verb. In this module, you will see how we can use the perfective aspect verb. Let us first quickly see how the perfective aspect verb differ from their imperfective verbs. In the last module, we had learned that there are three ways by which the perfective aspect verb differ from their imperfective verbs. The first was by prefixes, and we had done some verbs which differ, where the perfective verb differs from the imperfective verbs by prefixes. The examples that we had taken were читать, прочитать, завтракать, позавтракать, обедать, пообедать, слушать, послушать, делать, сделать, играть, сыграть, видеть, увидеть, писать, написать. In all these verbs, the perfective aspect is formed by adding prefixes. The conjugation of these verbs remain the same as their imperfective counterpart. The only thing is that you will add the prefix when you are conjugating the perfective aspect verb. The second way in which the perfective aspect verb differ from their imperfective verb is by suffixes. And we had done the verbs повторять, повторить, встречать, встретить, открывать, открыть, получать, получить, рассказывать, рассказать. So the third way in which the perfective aspect verb may differ from their imperfective aspect verb is by having a different root. For example, говорить, сказать, покупать, купить, брать, взять. Here you can see the imperfective and perfective verbs are formed from different root words. I hope you remember this as we had done it in the last module. So now let's move to the perfective verbs. The verbs of perfective aspect denote an action that has already been completed or one that will take place and be completed in the future. It is thus used to denote the past and future tense. The verb of the imperfective aspect does not denote an action in present tense. I will repeat. So, the perfective aspect verb denotes an action that has already been completed. It denotes an action that has already been completed, and the one that will take place and be completed in the future. So, the perfective aspect verb can be used to denote the action in the past as well as future. A completed action in the past and the action that will be completed in the future. The perfective aspect verb does not denote an action in present tense, compared to the imperfective counterpart, where the imperfective aspect was denoting an action that is ongoing, was ongoing, or will be ongoing in future. The perfective aspect verb denotes completion of an action. For example, let us take the verb прочитать. Прочитать is the perfective aspect verb of the imperfective counterpart читать. Прочитать. Let us use this verb in a sentence. Я прочитаю книгу. Here the verb prachitaj, the perfective aspect verb, is used to denote future tense. I will read a book. Ya prachitayu knigu means I will read a book. You remember I had told you that perfective aspect verb does not denote an action in present tense. So this form is a future tense form. Ya prachitayu knigu means I will read a book. Prachitayu denotes certainty that I will start and finish reading the book. Compared to ya budu chitaj knigu, ya prachitayu knigu, I will read a book. The difference between ya budu chitaj and ya prachitayu both indicate future tense. Here the use of the perfective aspect verb denotes certainty that I will start reading the book and will finish reading the book. Ya budu chitaj is a complex future tense which also you have learnt about, and there is simple future tense which is formed by using the perfective aspect verb, just like chitaj, prachitaj and so on. Ya prachital knigu. Let us take one more example in past tense. Ya prachital knigu means I have read a book. The past tense form of the perfective aspect here denotes that I have finished reading the book. Though here also finished, the emphasis is on completion of an action in the past. The perfective aspect verb denotes an action that has taken place once and have been completed. In comparison to the imperfective aspect verb which denotes an action that is repeated or that is an habitual reaction. That is a habitual reaction. The perfective aspect verb denotes an action that takes place once and has been completed. For example, я уже посмотрел этот фильм. Он очень интересный. Я уже посмотрел этот фильм. Он очень интересный. I have already seen this film. It is very interesting. Here, the past tense form of the verb посмотреть is a perfective aspect verb. Посмотреть means to watch. Смотреть, посмотреть. The perfective aspect verb посмотреть. Я уже посмотрел этот фильм. That I have already watched this film. Он очень интересный. It is very interesting. Indicates the completion of an action as well as that the action has taken place only once. Let us take one more example. Сегодня я уже прочитал газету «Известия». Я уже прочитал газету. Прочитать. Here the past tense form of the verb прочитать is used. Прочитать is a perfective aspect verb and here it indicates completion of an action in the past. Сегодня я уже прочитал газету «Известия». «Известия» is a name of a Russian newspaper. So I have already read a newspaper also indicates the action that has been completed and has taken place only once. One more example we'll take up to understand this meaning of the perfective aspect verb. Студенты правильно ответили на все вопросы. Студенты правильно ответили на все вопросы. Here the verb ответить is used, which is a perfective aspect verb of the imperfective verb отвечать. Отвечать, ответить means to answer. Студенты правильно ответили на все вопросы. Here is again indicating that the action has taken place once and has been completed. На все вопросы. Ответили на все вопросы. Here все also indicates the completion of action. Pravilna also indicates completion of an action, how the action has been completed. So, Studenti pravilna atvetili na sve vaprosi means that the students have answered all the questions correctly. The perfective aspect verb can also be used to denote consecutive action. Remember, imperfective aspect was being used to denote simultaneous action, but perfective aspect denotes consecutive action. It means that one action is completed and only after that another action may start. For example, Когда я написала письмо, я начала смотреть сериал по телевизору. Когда я написала письмо. The verb here is написать, which is a perfective aspect verb of the imperfective aspect писать. Писать, написать. The next verb is смотреть, начать, смотреть. Когда я написала письмо, написать, here is perfective aspect verb which indicates completion of an action. So, when I finish writing a letter, so one action is completed, я начала смотреть, I started to watch serial по телевизору. So, начала after начать, we had learnt in the last module that we always use the verb of imperfective aspect, which is смотреть here in this case. So, начать смотреть serial on TV. So, when I finished writing a letter, I started watching a serial on television. So, one action is completed and another action has started after the completion of the first action. This is the consecutive action. So, perfective aspect can be used to denote consecutive actions. Let us take one more example. Я он выучил стихотворение и потом сыграл в бадминтон. The verbs here used are выучить and сыграть. Выучить and сыграть both are perfective aspect verbs of учить and играть respectively. Учить, выучить, играть, сыграть. Both are being used in past tense here. Он выучил стихотворение. Стихотворение means poem. So he had learnt the poem and then he played badminton. So выучил стихотворение и потом сыграл в badminton means that he first finished learning the poem and then only he played badminton. So, denoting consecutive action. The verbs of perfective aspect are also used after certain verbs like uspevaj, uspyech. Uspevaj, uspyech means to succeed, to be able to. After this particular verb, the second verb used will always be of perfective aspect, emphasizing the successful completion of an action. The perfective aspect of the verb may also be used with adverbs like vdrug, srazu, неожиданно, describing sudden, unexpected actions. Vdrug means suddenly, srazu means at once, неожиданно is unexpectedly. So, sometimes when you use these adverbs in a sentence, then most commonly you will use the verb of the perfective aspect. Let us see the example. Мы не успеем купить торт. Успевать, успеть means to be able to or to succeed. Мы не успеем. After this verb, the next or the second verb that we will use will always be of the perfective aspect. So, мы не успеем купить. Купить means to buy. So, we will not be able to buy a cake. Мы не успеем купить торт. We will not be able to buy a cake. Let us revise the use of the perfective aspect verbs. The perfective aspect can be used to denote an action that has already been completed. The perfective aspect verbs may also be used to denote actions that have taken place once, as well as denote an action which are consecutive. Perfective aspect verb may also be used after the verb like uspěvať, uspět to emphasize successful completion of an action. Let us learn the conjugation of some perfective verbs before we move forward. Pavtaryaj, pavtarit. Here the imperfective verb is pavtaryaj and perfective is pavtarit. Let us try to conjugate the verb of perfective aspect, pavtarit. Pavtarit means to repeat, to revise. Ya pavtaryu, ti pavtarish, on ana ano pavtarit, my pavtarim, vi pavtarice, ani pavtaryat. Pavtarit is conjugated just like gavarich. Ya pavtaryu, ti pavtarish, on ana pavtarit, mi pavtarim, vi pavtarice, ani pavtaryat. This is the future tense form of the verb pavtarit. In past tense, the conjugation would be ya ti on pavtaril, ya ti ana pavtarila, on pavtaril, ana pavtarila, mi pavtarili, vi pavtarili, ani pavtarili. I will repeat. Ya pavtaril, ya pavtarila, ti pavtaril, ti pavtarila, on pavtaril, ana pavtarila, ano pavtarila, mi pavtarili, vi pavtarili, ani pavtarili. The next verb that we will learn the conjugation of is vstřečit. Vstřečit is the perfective aspect of the verb vstřečat. Vstřečat is conjugated just like čitat. Vstřečit is conjugated like ya vstřeču. Ya vstřeču. Ti vstřečiš. On vstřečit. Ana vstřečit. My vstřečim. Vy vstřečiče. Ani vstřečat. We'll repeat. Ya vstřeču. Ti vstřečiš. On vstřečit. My vstřečim. Vy vstřečiče. Ani vstřečat. These are the future tense form of the verb vstřečit. Let us do the past tense form. Ya vstřečil. Ya vstřečila. Ti vstřečil. Ti vstřečila. On vstřečil. Ana vstřečila. My vstřečili. Vy vstřečili. Ani vstřečili. The next verb is, let us learn the conjugation of atkrij. Atkrij is the perfective aspect verb. Its imperfective counterpart is atkrivaj, which is conjugated just like chitaj. Now we will learn the conjugation of the perfective verb atkrij. Atkrij means to open. Ya atkroju, ti atkrojesh, on atkrojet, ana atkrojet, my atkrojem, vy atkrojiče, ani atkroют. Я открою, ты откроешь, он откроет, она откроет, мы откроем, вы откроете, они откроят. Let us learn the conjugation in past tense. Я открыл. For feminine gender, я открыла. Ты открыл, ты открыла. Он открыл, она открыла. Мы открыли, вы открыли, они открыли. The next verb is paluchich. Paluchich is the perfective aspect verb. The imperfective counterpart of this verb is paluchach. It means to receive. Let us learn the conjugation of paluchich. Ya paluchu, ti paluchish, on paluchit, ana paluchit, мы получим, вы получите, они получат. I'll repeat. Я получу, ты получишь, он получит, мы получим, вы получите, они получат. Let us learn the past tense form of this verb. Я получил for the masculine gender, я получила for the feminine gender. Я получил, я получила. Ты получил, ты получила. Он получил, она получила. Мы получили, вы получили, они получили. The next verb is рассказать. Рассказать means to narrate. It is a perfective aspect verb and its imperfective counterpart is рассказывать. Рассказывать, рассказать. Рассказывать is conjugated just like читать. The verb perfective aspect is рассказать, which is conjugated as я расскажу, я расскажу, ты расскажешь, ты расскажешь, он расскажет, она расскажет, мы расскажем, вы расскажете, они расскажут. I'll repeat. Я расскажу, ты расскажешь, он расскажет, она расскажет, мы расскажем, вы расскажете, они расскажут. The past tense form of this verb will be я рассказал for masculine gender, я рассказала for feminine gender. Я рассказал, я рассказала. Ты рассказал, ты рассказала. Он рассказал, она рассказала. Мы рассказали, вы рассказали, они рассказали. The next verb is сказать. Сказать is a perfective aspect verb and its imperfective counterpart is говорить. Remember, it belongs to the third type where the perfective aspect verb has a different root. Let us now learn the conjugation of this verb. Я скажу, ты скажешь, он скажет, она скажет, мы скажем, вы скажете, они скажут. I'll repeat. Я скажу, ты скажешь, он скажет, мы скажем, вы скажете, они скажут. The past tense form of the verb will be я сказал, я сказала. Ты сказал, ты сказала. Он сказал, она сказала. Мы сказали, вы сказали, они сказали. The next verb is купить. Купить means to buy. It is a perfective aspect verb and its imperfective aspect counterpart is покупать. Its imperfective counterpart is покупать. Покупать, купить means to buy. Покупать is conjugated just like читать. Let us now learn the conjugation of the perfective aspect. Купить. Я куплю. Ты купишь. on kupit, my kupim, вы купите, они купят. I'll repeat. Я куплю, ты купишь, он купит, мы купим, вы купите, они купят. The past tense form of this verb is я купил for masculine noun, ты купила for feminine. Я купил, ты купила. Я купил, я купила. Ты купил, ты купила. Он купил, она купила. Мы купили, вы купили, они купили. Dear learners, I hope you have got a fair idea about the meaning of the two aspects of verbs. You have learnt all the different scenarios in which we use an imperfective or a perfective verb. Let me tell you that this topic is not an easy one, but with practice of the verbs of perfective and imperfective aspects, you can achieve a better understanding of this important grammatical category of verbs in Russian language. In the next module, we will revise the use of these verbs. I wish you success. Удачи вам. Спасибо.